Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today I have a speed paint. I know not everybody loves a speed paint, but I didn't voice over this when I recorded it, so I thought I would just get this up so you could see these paints in action. I'm starting off by sketching 3 roses, and you can see I started by drawing on 30 circles, then adding some stems and a little bud there, and just a few casual leaves. You can throw a couple little leaves on there now if you want, or freehand them in later. Now I'm just drawing in some petals within the 3 kind of round pom-pom shapes that I put originally, and there you've got your 3 roses. Feel free to pause it if you do want to paint along, but this is a speed paint. I don't want to deceive anybody here by letting you know that. So I'm using the Van Gogh watercolors, and I reviewed them on my website yesterday, on my YouTube channel yesterday, if you want to check that out. And I was kind of giving them a test run here. Now they're a student grade watercolor, so they're quite inexpensive, and I wanted to see like how well they flowed and how I could paint a picture with them. And I wet the flowers right there, and now I'm dripping in the paint, and you can kind of see that it's flowing pretty well. It's not flowing as fast as an artist grade paint would, but it's definitely holding its own with other high quality student grade paints that I've used before. To warm up the flowers, I'm adding in some lemon yellow and just kind of letting it kind of wash in there a little bit. And there you can see when I tip it, you can see without the glare how much pigment I'm putting in there. And I'm going in with some sap green. I decided when I chose these colors I would get a warm and cool version of each primary, plus a sap green and a yellow ochre. I didn't get the burnt sienna, although that's a color I use a lot because their burnt sienna had black in it, and I don't like to purchase colors with black or white added if I can help it. Sometimes they come in sets and there's not much you can do about that. I also wanted to see how well these paints would glaze, so I will be letting these dry, and you'll see me putting another layer on top. All in all, I am pretty pleased with this paint range, and I paid $2.50 a tube. I think they retail for about $4 or $5 a tube, and the tubes are 10 milliliters, which is a little bit bigger than your typical 7 milliliter student grade paint. So there you can see that the paint has dried. I paused the video, dried it, and came back. And now I'm going in a little bit darker with some more green. I can get in there a little bit more aggressively now that the petals are dry, because I don't want to paint that green in real close when my petals are still wet, or they'll meld together and green and red will make mud. So here I wanted to show you a little glazing, and I am going in the petals that are kind of tucked underneath with some of the quinacridone rose color there, and it's layering quite nicely. In fact, I find 2-layer glazing to be quite doable with this student grade paint. I think once you get beyond 2 layers of paint, you need to be very careful not to add too much water and to use an extremely soft brush, or it will lift the paint that's underneath. So keep that in mind if you are trying to glaze, like maybe you're following along with the Blue Jay feather tutorial I posted the other day. If you are having problems with lifting, just make sure it's super dry, and make sure you're using a really soft brush so that you don't kick up those other layers of paint. But the nice thing about glazing, as you can see here, is that it builds up depth. You know, you get a much more rounded feel to the flowers. You can start to see the flowers separate from each other, and it's a very pleasing look. So I'm just going around and kind of puttering with some glazed shadows here on the bud and the leaves, and just giving a little bit more detail. This is not a highly detailed painting. It's kind of the reason I decided I would do this as a speed paint, just because I knew I wasn't going to put in a ton of time on this. I just wanted to play with the paint and see how they behaved. Now here I'm taking any colors that I've used throughout the painting and spattering it on, and there you can see it completely done. I dried it so that you could see it without the glare, and I'm pretty happy with the way this turned out. Again, these are the Van Gogh Student watercolors, and I think they're a great bargain if you're looking to get started in watercolor and not spend a ton of money. I want to thank you so much for watching today. Feel free to go in and add any other little details and shadows on this painting that you think it needs, and I'd love to see your creations. You can always share your work with me in my Facebook group. Just go to facebook.com/thefrugalcrafter, and you can find my group, my Facebook page there. And I'm just kind of puttering around with a few extra details on the picture, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. If you do get any spatters, if you decide to spatter and you get spatters on top of the flowers, just go ahead and blot them with a paper towel. Again, I want to thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Until next time, happy crafting.